Alright, you crazy kids, Anthony Punshon here. Today I want to talk to you about the plank. The plank is of course the Mac Daddy of kind of core strength endurance work, provided you get it right. And there's a few little things, there's a couple of tiny little technique points which we see people do all the time that they don't even know they're doing and don't know how to correct. So I want to run through those today. Basically, the most common one, of course, is sticking your bum in the air. I don't want to talk about that today because everyone does it and you know it. Get your bum down, yeah? I want to talk about two other tiny little things that people do, and that's actually not in the middle of the plank. Let me get you into an elbow plank first of all. So I'm not talking about this in the middle of the plank. We want to get our bum down, that's where we want to be. I'm talking about actually at either end of the plank. Now, one of them is moving your elbows too far forwards. Yeah? The other one is being pushed this way on your heels, okay? Now, what we want to kind of do in a way is almost try and elongate at each end, okay, when we're in a plank, so when we're down. So let me just quickly get into a plank and show you. So I'm going to start with an elbow plank. I'll work my way up from there. I'm going to show you from the side. But when you're in this position, people will do one or two things. Often they'll have their elbows too far forwards, okay? So basically, your elbows are now in front of your head. And there's a few reasons why we don't want to do this. First of all, as you can see from my heels here, I'm now forced to kind of scissor in this direction, okay? Also, I'm now more likely to push my bum in the air because I'm now pushing against my elbows. And the other thing is, it puts an awful lot of pressure on your shoulders because when your shoulders become in front of your elbows, it's no different to lifting your arms overhead. If you look at it from the side, it's no different to lifting your arms up overhead, and of course that's overhead pressing, and that's okay, but we're putting a lot of shear force through our shoulders in this particular position. So first thing is to actually pull your shoulders backwards so they're actually in line with, pull your elbows backwards, beg your pardon, so they're actually in line with your shoulders or slightly behind your shoulders. Always err on the side of slightly behind if you can. So in this position, again, for our plank, we want to pull our shoulders back. Now, the way to do that is not actually to pull your shoulders back. What it is to pull your chest through, okay? So imagine you've got an attachment here, and just at the front, I'm going to pull your chest through. So in this plank position, what we're going to do from this position is, like I say, we're going to literally pull these elbows back. So if I start a little bit in front to show you, then from there, so we can correct it, we're going to pull your shoulders back and pull your chest through. So now from this position, our elbows now are in a much nicer alignment, okay? They're now in a much nicer alignment to our shoulders. And also from this position, you'll see now, I'm kind of looking just down about here, rather than here, looking at my tummy, yeah? Don't want to do that, I want to look slightly in front of me from here. From this position now, we can slightly sink our shoulder blades, so we can take a lot of pressure off the shoulders, if you saw that there. But basically what I did was from this position, by sinking my shoulder blades, I unshrugged, okay? Tiny little movement, just unshrugged there. But by shrinking this, it puts us in a much nicer alignment and takes a lot of pressure off these muscles in between our shoulder blades. These ones that are probably hunched from a day's work or anything else that you tend to do, yeah? The other thing we're going to do is going to push our ankles, our heels backwards, almost like we've got a backboard here and we're trying to flatten them out. So from this position, again, we've now got in here. We've now pulled our chest through. We've got a general plank, generally looks like this, but now we've pulled our chest through, which has automatically pulled our bum down, by the way, which is why I say I'm not focusing on that one. From here, and then from there, we're going to push our heels backwards, okay? See that tiny movement? Now we're here, and we're just going to push them backwards. So we're working on kind of elongating from the top, because we don't want to pull our shoulders back with that. We want to kind of elongate all the way down. Once you're in that position, you've only got one more thing to do, which is to tuck your tailbone under, okay? And then you'll have your core all the way here, particularly down the bottom here, tightly contracted, okay? From that position. And that's a big difference between untucking, that relaxes your core completely, yeah, and puts all the pressure on your lower back. And again, the same here. Here, we've now untucked, we've got pressure on our lower back, we've got pressure on our shoulders. But our core is doing near enough bugger all when we're in that position, yeah? Because it doesn't need to, because all these muscles down your spine will now try and pull you up from the bottom, yeah? And all these muscles at the shoulder are now supporting you at the top, so you'll get a lot of fatigue around your shoulders as opposed to fatigue in your core, which is when you should, yeah? So always think, tuck it in, tuck it under when you are. Now, let's take that to a full plank just to show you how that works the same way. Again, full plank, very often, people have their hands forward, okay? And then they'll be in this position, yeah? And again, what we want to do from this position is actually pull your chest through, bring your hands back so they're under your shoulder, And then from here, push those heels back. Yeah, you'll feel a nice stretch in your calves if you do that right. In case you didn't see that, again, push those heels back. And then we're going to pull your chest through, pull your belly button in, pull your core in, and then tuck that tailbone under to get a nice flat position there. Okay? And then you'll see again, I'm looking down here. Yeah? I'm not looking up here, I'm not looking down at my tummy, which of course causes me to either hunch or stick my arse in the air, depending on which way you go. I'm looking just down here, so tuck it in, tuck it under, and look down here. Another thing, know the difference between a plank and a push-up position. Get your hands close together. They should be directly under your shoulders, yeah? They shouldn't be out to the side. They should be directly under your shoulders. No, directly under, about probably that far apart, yeah? It's about, what, 5 inches? Yeah, 12 inches if you're a man, about that far apart, yeah? And that's all you're going to do, you're going to hold them there. And then of course, that takes pressure off your shoulders. Relax those shoulders, sink slightly between your shoulder blades, push those heels back, pull this in, tuck this under. So it's all about subtlety as far as the plank goes, but those two little things, pushing your heels back and bringing your hands back, pulling your chest through, which is basically the same thing, will make a huge, huge difference to your plank. And that will be a good place to start and allow you to engage your core, allow you to use your core to do the work, and not just the muscles in your shoulders, not just the muscles in your chest, and not just the muscles in your lower back, all these other ones that are coming in to do the work for your core, if your core is not being put in a position that it can. Yeah? Alright, give that a try, get to a nice plank position, and see the difference. As soon as you tuck that in, tuck that under, and get those little things, you'll start to feel it here, as opposed to here. Yeah? Excellent, catch you next time.